Hi everyone, I'm Brad Palmer, and this is Ron Bogda, who is the performer on the Chicago Stadium organ. And we're going to be talking to Ron between periods of tonight's game about the history of this organ and also find out some of the things it does. I think you'll enjoy it, so stay tuned between periods. We'll be talking with Ron Bogda. Go ahead, Ron. This again is Ron Bogda, and we just thought we'd bring you behind the scenes and give you a close-up view of this stadium organ. It's got quite a lot of history behind it. And Ron, you've been playing this now for 3 years, but you've been associated with it since 1960 in Al Milgard.
That's right. I started here in '60 as the assistant organist, and I took over when Al retired 3 years ago.
And he played it for years, going almost back to 1929, I guess. At least in the 30s he was here.
Yeah, he started in late '29, I guess.
Stadium, of course, was built in 1929. And was
Right.
this with it when it opened its doors?
Yes, the organ was, of course, built for the building and erected as part of the building. It's a monumental task to build and install an organ like this, and like many of the arenas, this was built as part of the building at the time.
I guess there's quite a story there, just because of the size of this organ and the fact there aren't any like it today.
Well, although the organ was built at that time, it is still the largest theater organ ever built. It was built naturally to power the huge building, and the building was the largest arena of its type at that time, so they had to have the biggest organ. And it was a tremendous expenditure. I'm told that the organ was about $500,000 plus the installation, so it was quite a chunk of money.
At 1929 prices?
Right.
I don't know if that was before or after the crash, but it's still a lot more than $500,000 today.
That's right. All the major companies that were in the business at the time were bidding on it, and the organ, of course, is a Barton pipe organ, and the unique installation where the pipes and all the mechanics of the organ are hanging from the center of the ceiling was most attractive to management because they didn't lose any seating, or an organ was installed in the corners in other arenas. This way they were able to make use of all the space.
How much space does this organ occupy up on that ceiling?
Quite a bit. The organ is installed in 4 divisions. There's 4 huge rooms with the pipes, and then of course the blower and the relay for the organ are all up in the ceiling.
And it's really kind of hidden up there, but how about maintenance? I suppose that would be a problem.
Maintenance is a continual thing. It's like the old story of painting the Brooklyn Bridge. You just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Maintenance is continual. There's a man that stays in the organ all the time it's on, and the normal maintenance things that you would expect, and of course he's there to anticipate any problem that could come up while we're using the organ.
This organ is so identified with the Chicago Stadium. I've heard it for years, and I've always marveled at the sound that goes into it, and during our next intermission we're going to have you give a demonstration. But how about yourself? How did you become involved in playing the organ here? I mean, Milgard was a fixture here for so many years, and now it's you.
Well, I had known Al for years before I became associated with it, and I was very much interested in it, and I guess I was sort of like a stage door Johnny, hanging around, and he was very kind to me, and I spent a lot of hours working at it and just getting to the point where I was familiar enough to do something with it. It's not something that you just sit down to, believe me.
Oh, I can imagine. When do you get to practice?
Well, I, of course, have access to the stadium anytime I care to come in and use it, and they're extremely generous in that respect. Simply the fact that the organ is still in existence and operating is amazing, because it's expensive, but as you say, there's nothing like it.
How do you see your role in the course of a game? The St. Louis organist got in trouble for interfering, at least the visiting team study did. What kind of a profile do you keep?
Well, as I see it, we're here to stimulate the home crowd. We're not in any way trying to be negative. We want to do positive things for our team, but we're not here to in any way be negative to a visiting team. We don't play anything that we feel they would object to. And we just try to keep things, well, first of all, light. We're not here to be heavy and dramatic, and we don't want to be overpowering with the organ either, but we want to contribute as much to our team as possible.
And it can be a crowd-controlling device, can it not?
Oh, very much so. This has been demonstrated in the past. Many years ago when Al Melgard was here, they had a prize fight, which ended up in a bit of a riot, and he turned the organ on, all the stops, and he caused some building damage. We were breaking light bulbs and windows and so forth, so it has damaging potential, let's say.
Well, then what percentage of capacity do you actually play the organ? You don't go full blast?
Oh, never, never. I doubt if you ever hear more than a quarter of the organ on at a time.
Really?
And then you'd say that was loud.
And if you were to pull out the stops, you could bring down the rafters.
Well,
maybe
something would happen.
Ron, thank you very much. During the next intermission, we're going to have you demonstrate this organ.
Fine. Happy to.
I'll be back with more right after this time out. We're back with Ron Bogda and his pride and joy, the Chicago Stadium organ, which was built back in 1929 when this building was built. It's a Barton organ, and Ron, I guess this isn't a full-time job with you, although it could be, huh?
Oh, it very easily could be. I involved in not only the playing of the organ, but the maintenance of it, and I do some teaching, so it keeps me busy all the way around.
Well, I know a lot of people are anxious to see just what this organ can do, and I've never played an organ, but a lot of people have organs at home, and I've always been curious just to see what some of the intricacies on this organ are. So why don't you give us a little demonstration?
Fine, be happy to.
Thank you.
Generally, what people ask first when they come up and look at the organ, they look at its huge size, and they say things like, gee, how many stop tabs does the organ have? Well, the organ has 883 stop tabs. It has 6 manuals or keyboards, and it's controlling all the pipes in the ceiling of the stadium. The organ was sold and installed on the basis that the entire mechanics of the organ could be hung from the ceiling so that we wouldn't lose any seating space, and that would be the best distribution of sound. As far as what is there, there's people ask me how many pipes. I really don't know, literally thousands. Tonal effects other than the pipe sounds, you'll hear things like xylophones and bells and chimes, all of which are real instruments that are played through the mechanics of the organ. These are all things that are there, as well as drums and cymbals and all this that we use to make a lot of noise for the games.
It almost duplicates everything that's in an orchestra, then.
Yes, the idea.
Maybe a violin.
Yeah, the idea of the organ, when it was built, you have to remember, of course, when it was built in '29, that there were no electronic organs. Sound systems were not nearly as sophisticated as they are now, and the organ was meant to be a substitute for a large orchestra. And of course, the organ is voiced to handle a huge sport arenas such as this where you have large crowd noises, and it's more voiced on the idea of a huge brass band as opposed to what you might find in a theater, which is more mellow and on the orchestral side.
Let's see what it can do.
All right. Now here's some of the percussion tones.
How about the xylophones, the chimes?
Chimes. Here's the harp.
Ron, there's a traditional song that you hear at the end of any event in the Chicago Stadium, and I've heard it for years, but I've never known the name of it.
Oh, I'm sure what you're referring to is a composition called My Vision. This was written by my predecessor, Al Melgard, and it has sort of become the unofficial theme of the stadium.
It's the only place I've ever heard it, and I wonder if you just end this little feature by playing it for us.
Certainly be happy to.